Welcome to another episode of AniBreak, the show where we break down the week's hot topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and let's start off with what Jason has been watching in terms of anime. Just for the sole fact, we've talked about for the past couple weeks that the second half of the winter anime season has started, therefore a bunch of new anime has just begun. And it's kind of hit and miss this time around. I don't know if that's just because I'm too excited for stuff that was announced to come out in like April or June, or just that maybe the animation quality or the industry is on a tightened budget this time around. I have no idea. But I just want to talk about a couple that I started watching. I know there's one of these I decided to watch just for the sole fact of so I can talk about it on the show. And because I know it's not something I'm going to really watch, but it's still, it surprised me in certain ways. I'll say that. Let's start off with Senyu. This one kind of took me aback real quick just before the animation quality. It's really, I can't really call it low-key. Let me rephrase this. There's not really that much detail, but then again, this is based off of popular manga, so I went back and found the manga and realized, it's pretty equal to the art style. Ancient race, there's an evil being who reigned over the world, and then, of course, these people are trying to prevent that evil from, from coming back after 1,000 years of being in captivity. Basic design. When I first saw it, I was instantly thinking, so they're taking one of the worlds from Sword Art Online and just making that an entire series. Okay, cool, I got that. No. This one, if you're looking for a deep storyline, you're not going to get it here. That being said, the dialogue's actually pretty funny. I mean, this is meant to be a lighthearted series. The action-wise, not really much there. It's more focused on the comedy than anything else. If you guys, enjoy that kind of thing, give it a shot. You guys, have nothing to lose. It's on Crunchyroll right now. It's streaming there. And, yeah, I mean, it's only 2 episodes in right now, so, I mean, what do you got to lose? Let's talk about Amnesia now. This is a series when I saw the image, and here you go. Yeah, I looked at him going, okay, not for me. I'm not not going to be checking this out. But you know what? Screw it. I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first episode. Here's the summary. I mean, you can't get as cliche as this gets. I mean, when the heroine regains consciousness in an unfamiliar place, she suddenly has lost all memories of everything that happened before a certain date, which is August 1st. That's usually what amnesia is, to an extent. And of course she meets these guys, and it's her path to try to remember who she is, who she was, what does she do, but she's surrounded by so-called hot guys. Just the premise alone, with the 4 different guys, just reminded instantly, it's Sayuki all over again. The one thing that surprised me was the costume design in this. Not only were these the costumes, but also a lot of the music cues, I swore, were a direct rip out of the Kingdom Hearts games. If you don't believe me, go check it out for yourself. I kid you not. It was one of those things where I got through the first episode just by trying to compare the costumes and cues and sets to stuff I've played in Kingdom Hearts games, and it actually was kind of entertaining. Will I continue watching this series? Probably not. I mean, the dialogue is nothing to write home about. The animation, at least, is nicely detailed, and it has some decent action sequences. But overall, yeah, this one, personally, not for me. Not going to check it out. And I've been talking about this series for a while on AniBreak, and it's going after the idol genre. I mean, Idolmaster and several others have been going down this path. And I thought, you know what? Okay, I'll give it a shot. It doesn't really sound too original. Hey, look, a high school is going to shut down unless they get more students. So these 9 girls decide, you know what? We're going to become an idol group in order to save our school. Right. I gave it a shot anyways. To me, let me talk about the dialogue for instance, the dialogue is very basic. They try so hard to be slice of life comedy, and it doesn't work all the time. The the animation is kind of flat. There's really not much to there until you get to the idle sequences, like the opening sequence and, flashes of what's going to happen when they get into their costumes and whatnot. And then that, honestly, there are scenes where it goes straight into CG, like they just put their own skins on the characters in an Idolmaster game and hit play, which I thought was funny as hell. It does its job well. If you're definitely trying to go for that demographic, you might as well emulate it as much as possible. But I just started to laugh at that because there are other series out there that didn't have to go as that far and still were kind of decent. This one, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. And like I've said time and time again, I'll usually give a series about 4 or 5 episodes before I just completely drop it. It has enough there, not to really keep me interested, but enough to keep me entertained enough to actually continue on. And of course, you have 9 different girls, 9 different character archetypes. So you're gonna find one that you like, and you'll root for that one. It's par for course. I mean, this is Idol Anime 101, Chapter 1, Page 1. So, if you want to look at it that way, as this is what you're going to find in an Idol anime, you might as well watch it academically if you really want to check it out. This one is called Love Live, School Idol Project. The funny thing about this series is that the companies behind it literally wanted to create just something to capitalize on the growing trend of idols in Japan. Not surprising whatsoever, given how popular they are. And these girls, they actually can sing somewhat, although I take it back. Most of the girls can sing. There are 2 which are auto-tuned to such an extent that Miku sounds more realistic. It was, yeah. So, Kenshin in the chat says, I think Zach from ANN gave it a 4. Yeah, I'd say about 4 out of 10 maybe. So, those are just 3 that I've been caught this past week. There are plenty more out there. I'm going to start watching some of the stuff that came out on the Anime Network and Viz and Funimation this upcoming weekend. So, we will see what happens. Okay, let's get on to the big news. Well, it's big in terms of in terms of the content, but the final product, I'm hesitant. But let me put it this way. In the February issue of Kodansha's monthly Young magazine announced this. There's going to be a brand new Ghost in the Shell series, full anime series that's going to launch sometime this year. It's going to be called Ghost in the Shell Arise. And when I first read this, I went, holy shit. Okay, I'm the biggest Ghost in the Shell fan. I love the movies. I put the TV series in my top 5 of all time. My top 5 series of all time. And so I'm thinking, perfect. You're going to continue on where you left off. You're going to have Kenji Kamiyama come back to direct the series. You're going to have Yoko Kanno come back and write the music. You're going to have the production IG behind it. No. Like, none of that. And as a fanboy, I literally just paused, mid-read and went, what? So, let me say this though. Okay. You have Kazuchika Kize, who's going to serve as the chief director. You have Ubukata supervising and writing the series, all the scripts. These people have worked on really good things like Marduk Scramble. So if you really liked that, you're going to get a feel for what to expect from this series. My hopes and dreams were dashed slightly when it was stated that Yoko Kanno is not contracted to compose the music for the series. And I went, well, who in the hell could actually continue on? And out of all the different bands and composers and people out there, they chose Cornelius. Now, Cornelius is a very eccentric musician. I'll say that I actually enjoyed. I have several of his albums. It's definitely out there. It's not something you would hear like in top 40 think more of the like out there stuff that Yoko Kanno did. That's Cornelius. And actually, Cornelius and Yoko Kanno actually teamed up to work on a alarm clock app that's actually free. You can get online for Android and iOS. It's cool. It's kind of catchy, but it's nothing that's gonna wake you up. But side note aside. So yeah, Cornelius is the composer, and then I was thinking, okay, what about Kenji Kamiyama? Is Elise coming back as a producer? No, he is not involved at all in this new project. Now, I understand that Kenji Kamiyama is a very busy man. He creates some fantastic work, and he's still working on amazing stuff to this day, even both with Production IG and with his own company. I'm looking forward to everything that this guy does. So I'm thinking, at least give me something about the production company. Please let it be Production IG. Yes, it is Production IG that's actually doing the animation for the series. Okay, cool. We have some hope here. It could be good. And you guys remember how Motoko Kusanagi, the major, looks from not only just the movies, but also from the TV series, from Standalone Complex. Yeah, they decided to go with the slightly tweaked version of the major. And there she is. Well, if anything, it definitely gives me a more of an let me phrase that. It definitely ties into the artistic stylings of Marduk Scramble. So you can see part 1 and part 2. I believe they're available on Blu-ray stateside for a decent price. You can go check them out that way. So you look at it and I'm going, okay, this is their version of Ghost in the Shell. So this is Ghost in the Shell Arise. Okay, after all of this, I'm thinking, give me something. Give me something in terms of what's the story? What is the setting? Is this canon? Is this after the third movie? Is this an alternate retelling? I mean, is this going to stick to more of like the comical side from the parts of the manga? Well, we will get some answers soon. Hopefully it's not immediate, but soon. It's already been announced that there is going to be a Ghost in the Shell Arise production presentation streamed live for free worldwide on February 12th at 9 p.m. in Japan. The problem with that time frame is that if you're going to be watching it stateside like I am, you're either not going to sleep one night or you're going to get up very early. Because that translates to 7 a.m. Eastern. So 4 a.m. Pacific. So February 12th at 3:45 a.m., you're either going to find yourself at your computer or cursing your alarm clock for not waking you up in time. So I think it's kind of cool. It's actually held at the Nikofar event hall in Tokyo, which is a really cool place. If you guys can, nikofar.jp, I believe is the URL for that place. Really cool place. I envy those who are going to be able to go in person because they have a special event going on for about 2,000 yen. They're going to screen the first movie. Remember that. The movie compilation of the first season, the movie compilation of the second season, and of course the third movie, Solid State Society, in 3D. So if you guys are in Japan, those people in Japan, I envy them completely. If not, if you don't, let me phrase that. I don't think I can go to Japan for that, so I'm going to sit here at home and actually watch them because I have them all on Blu-ray. So, but yeah, I look at this and going, okay, you have Production IG backing up a new Ghost in the Shell production. That's a good thing. All these other people have done great work in the past, but nothing that and this is me just being fanboyed for a little bit, this is, they don't scream something that fits in the Ghost in the Shell universe. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We have to wait until February 12th at 4 a.m. Pacific to find out what's going on. I mean, it's great. I love to have some more Ghost in the Shell. I thought it would just be a continuation of the series. But, yeah. As DMX says, a lot of rephrasing I've been doing this episode. Yes, because I catch myself wanting to rant and rave, and I'm trying to limit that as much as I can. But yeah, new Ghost in the Shell could be awesome. Kind of related to that from the TV series, Yoko Kanno. I consider the goddess of anime music. Her stuff is legendary. She's actually working on a new song called Mary Song. And usually when someone of her talent wants to create a new song, she has her pick of the best talent out there in terms of musicians and vocal talent. Well, you might have a chance with this one, actually, because for this new song, for this special song, she's announced open auditions for a male singer no older than 25 can audition for this to perform this piece with her in a band. The great thing about this, it is open internationally. You can actually, if you're in, here in the States and you're thinking, you know what, I can sing and I want to audition for Yoko Kanno, you can actually audition online for her. You basically fill out a form online. It's in English and Japanese. Send it in along with a, I think it's a headshot and your audition piece. I believe either an MP3 or you can do a video if you really wanted to. Submissions are accepted until the end of this month, January 30th. So I know I can't sing. This is why I play instruments, because I can, this does not work as a musical instrument for me. I think this is an amazing opportunity for those out there. I think this is a better shot for people to get at than, I would say, American Idol made that thing burn in hell, but oh well. But I think that's kind of cool. If you guys are a singer, male 25 or younger, and you want to audition for this, information is online. It's all over the place on Crunchyroll, ANN, anime.biz, all that stuff. So, okay. I remember in December when I hosted an episode all about cars and anime, I started talking briefly about Lupin the Third and all their cars, and how some real-life companies have actually released or used Lupin the Third to promote their own car. Well, looks like they're not the only company that's going to be doing that. Toyota announced they formed a venture with a company called Zionic. Well, if you're a Gundam fan, you know that's a fictional company in the Gundam universe. That doesn't is not a real actual company. But apparently Toyota formed a new joint venture with them to sell a car. And I look at this, I'm going, really? Okay. I mean, you got this ad right here. I mean, we're talking old school, we have charge, counterattack, images from that in here. And they use this and splice it in with modern images and scenes from the 1950s about cars and whatnot. And this is how they're trying to sell a special hatchback, the MS-186CA. They're calling it the Auris. When I look at the car, and you'll see it in a moment, it looks like a Yaris. I think it's basically Japan's version of the Yaris, but it's going to have some, emblems on it on side for that Gundam fans will appreciate. I find it funny as hell that they're actually going through with this. This is like going all over the place, to the point where they actually have a company website. They have a Twitter and Facebook account dedicated just to this car and to the Zionic company. To which, if you actually go to the website and Facebook page, you can interact like a virtual employee and receive employee perks, which could include, room stays at the Hotel Grand Pacific Ladaiba. I actually went to the hotel in April 2012. Nice place. They've actually dedicated a room to Gundam. They call it Room G. It's completely decked out in all Gundam stuff, and you can earn a free night there if you actually... I'm sure there's like little quizzes and tests and whatnot you can actually, do online to actually earn points. I still find it funny as hell that of all the things to try to use to sell a car, you're going to use Char of all things. But you know what? I'm sure it'll be a big hit with all the Gundam fans because, you know, they are massive in number. I'm only a minor Gundam fan myself. Okay. I found it funny that there is a new comedy reality show in Japan. This one is actually designed for cell phone viewing, not really for, you know, on cable at home and whatnot. Now, the full title, I'm going to mess this up, I apologize, is Yume Manga Jiken Gekijo Dekiro Desho. It's basically a show where they bring all these comedians together, and their main purpose with this show is to recreate famous scenes from manga and anime. Like they'll do scenes from Rurouni Kenshin, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Fist of the North Star, Cyborg 009. I'm thinking this could be funny as hell. There's only going to be 8 episodes scheduled for this series. And the fact that it's made designed for mobile devices, I'm hoping that it makes its way stateside soon. Because I think this would be absolutely hilarious to check out. I'm already a fan of Japanese comedy myself. And the fact that you can have some of these, you know, great comedians try to recreate some of the famous scenes. Could you imagine someone trying to recreate the 100 Crack Fist from Fist of the North Star? I think that actually would be absolutely hilarious. So, guys, keep a ear out for that. I know I will, and the moment I start, you know, finding it online available, like on YouTube and whatnot, I will be sure to post links everywhere. All right. Let's see what we can talk about. Let's talk about actually some guest of honor announcements for several cons on the West Coast. I know that the anime season, or anime con season, I should say, has already begun. I was supposed to be at Anime LA a couple weekends ago, and unfortunately I got sick and wasn't able to attend. Kind of sad about that. Looking for other cons to actually host a panel at and go check out. I'm checking to see if I actually could go to Anime on, I think it's Anime on Display, AOD, up in San Francisco. I think it's the second weekend of February. I'm going to try to check that out. If you guys have suggestions for cons for me to go into and try to host a panel and whatnot, please shoot me an email, jason@anibreak.com. But enough about me. I want to talk about some of these other cons that have announced some actually really cool guests. There's one up in Sacramento called Kintoki Con. They're actually going to bring a guest of Koge Donbo. If you know that name, you probably recognize it from DG Shirat. Yes, the manga is going to be at Kintoki Con. They are, you got a ways away if you wanted to save up to go to this. They're actually going to be at the Capitol Plaza Holiday Inn, Sacramento, California, July 27th through 28th. This is almost a full month after Anime Expo, so you guys got plenty of time to actually save up for it. Sadly, she hasn't done much lately. I was, you know, hoping to see more from her, but again, when you get married, you know, she got married in late 2010, early 2011, so things kind of started slowing down for that. Her latest, I think, manga series, Doki Doki Tamatan, that ended, I think, in like late 2010, so it hasn't been much lately. But you know what? She was a fantastic person. I got the chance to meet her when I was working at Anime Expo 2006, so it's nice to see her come back stateside. There is another person for Kawaii Con. This is a con that I've always wanted to go to, primarily for its location. Kawaii Con takes place in what other place? Hawaii. What better place to have an anime con than 20 meters off the beach? And Kawaii Con has a benefit to that itself, not only for its location, but also great beaches and great weather and whatnot. And it's a great place that a lot of people in Japan want to go visit and go vacation at. So when this con goes to Japan and goes, hey, we have a convention in Hawaii, and we want you to come, they have no problem getting people. They already announced character designer Noisy Ito. You might remember her, I think it was 2007, I want to say it was. She was at Anime Expo. She's been a character designer for several series and, of course, illustrator on some light novels like Haruhi, Shakugan no Shana, the another light novels, which were really good, I should say. and she's actually going to be designing the con's official T-shirt. I might just order a T-shirt and see if I can get it shipped to me, just because I want something like that. That would be really cool. The con is actually the third weekend in March, so you have some time, but not much time to save up if you want to go, because you have to get a flight out there, because you really can't drive there. Unless you really want to spend money and just pay for a cruise to go out there. That's a little too exuberant for me. But there is one more guest announcement that I actually, well, it's more of a tease than anything else. This is a shot as a in-progress poster for the brand new Japan Expo USA. I'm looking forward to this con more than any other in 2013, just because the people that are behind it. I've seen what Japan Expo in France has been able to do, and people they're able to bring, and I'm just looking so forward to seeing what they're going to bring to the American anime convention circuit. And this is just the tease of their first guest. Their first guest of honor is, like I said before, actually designing their poster, and this is just a work in progress. So people have slowly been trying to figure out who the heck this is. And I will say this, even though I know the people who are actually putting this on, I'm not getting any information whatsoever. I'm guessing left, right, and center, and I'm not getting hide nor hair of a response from them, which I completely understand. So, oh well. I will find out just like you guys. So, I thought it was from Gainax. It kind of looks like that, but we don't know. We won't know. We did announce on Front Mother's Basement a couple weeks ago that they are going to be announcing information regarding registration and more news, possibly a guest sometime in January. Well, we're at the midway point of January, so it's got to be soon. So we'll find out. This con is actually being held actually in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I guess you can call it Northern California. So it's going to be in that area. I forget exactly. No, sorry. It's at the Santa Clara Convention Center, I believe. Just remember that off the top of my head, which is actually a nice place. So more information can be found actually at their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Japan Expo USA. All right. Time to get to some video game news. And by video game news, I mean video game sales, because there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. If you guys haven't checked out the No Kuni demo on the PS3, do so. Go, after this show is over, go download it. You get to play 2 different levels, play 2 different bosses. It is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for this to come stateside. We don't have very long to wait to get this actual game. I actually have it pre-ordered, but I only have the base model, just the actual game itself pre-ordered. And it comes out on the 22nd, so about another 6 days from now. However, if you guys are the people with disposable income and want to have some really cool stuff, take a look at this image here. This is the No Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Wizards Edition. This is a special edition that comes with a ton of stuff. We're talking not only the game itself, but you also have a 340-page hardcover copy of the Wizard's Companion. You have, oh god, so many things. You get a plush of Drippy, which is a character that follows you throughout the entire game. You get some DLC bonuses, a Wizard coin, a music CD. You get artwork cards. You get a bunch of stuff, included with the game. It's $99.99. It's $100. It's $40 more than the regular edition of the game. But if you go to Club Namco, just search for Club Namco, you can actually buy this tomorrow. You get it. You can buy it early, and you can get the special limited edition. This is really cool. If I had the money, I would be buying this. If you guys have the money, do so. If you guys don't have the extra $40 but still want to pick up this game, it comes out the 22nd of January. You don't have too much longer to wait. And I highly, highly recommend at least playing the demo. And that's going to snag you, just like it snagged me, to buy the game when it comes out. Okay. Let's talk about Final Fantasy. Yeah, this just looks amazing. So there was a teaser site that has showcased the outline of some old school Final Fantasy like dragons or characters, counting down to, I think it was yesterday. And I was thinking, are they going to re-release one of the other Final Fantasies for iOS devices? They've already released several others. I have most of them on my iPad to take up most of its room. But no, this one is a new. I'm just going to play it so you guys can enjoy. Yes, that is Final Fantasy All the Bravest. How freaking cool does that look? Essentially, you can have as many as 40 party members of several classic games from the Final Fantasy franchise pit against huge enemies in classic active time battles. Active time battles, ATB, All the Bravest. You kind of get the joke. It's Final Fantasy. It's Squaresoft. Or Squaresoft, Square Enix, Squeenix, whatever you want to call it. So the attacks are actually pulled off by either tapping on individual characters, or you can do a line, just drag your finger down and just activate a bunch of people at the same time. The best thing about this is actually all the unlockables. You have up to 20 different characters you can unlock, and 35 more premium characters that you have to buy, which are that's going to get expensive because it's 99 cents a person. So you're going to pay $3.99 for the game. I'm already going to do that the first thing it's available. If it's available at midnight tonight, I'm going to pick it up that second. I just checked just before the show. Wasn't available yet, so I'm just still waiting. So you have all that. It's $3.99 for the game on either iPhone, iPad, or iPod. And then I'm going to pay an extra $35 for all these bonus characters. Not all at once, but spread out throughout months and months and months and whatnot. There are actually additional stages you can actually purchase that are based on classic games. Final Fantasy 7, 5, 13 if you wanted to. There are world tickets where you can probably buy some as a bunch, but the base model game is $3.99. I think this is absolutely incredible. This game just looks so much fun. It definitely pulls at the nostalgia strings. I have to get it. There's no word yet whether it's going to come out on Android devices. Right now it is strictly iOS. And I don't believe there actually is any Final Fantasy games on Android right now, or at least official ones. The other one I talked about a while ago is the Theater Rhythm. That's actually available for free. That has at least a couple songs you can try out. That's also another in-app purchase game where you have to pay, I think, like $2 or $3 per additional song, so that gets kind of pricey as well. But for this one, I think $4 right out the gate is a good price for what you get. So that's just me. But what about people who enjoy Fire Emblem? The sequel, Fire Emblem Awakening, is coming out on 3DS, and Nintendo's already announced a bundle for $200. That includes a specially designed 3DS as well as the game and a 4 gig SD card. That's actually a really good deal for $200. I mean, first off, take a look at this. That is the design for the 3DS. That just looks sweet. I love the color. The design is great. Yeah, I've been wanting to get a 3DS for a while, and even though I don't have the money for it, now I want one even more. And like I said, that's a good deal because if you bought a regular 3DS, that's about $170 right now. The game by itself is about $40 to $45 depending on where you buy it. And then a separate card could be, depending on however large you want to get it, from an extra, $10 to $50 depending on, 2 to 32 gigs. So if you haven't picked up a 3DS yet and you want to check out this game, I think it's well worth the money. You're already saving yourself some money to begin with, and you get a really cool limited edition 3DS. I envy anybody who is able to pick this up. Okay. Remember last week I was talking about the EVO 2013 game lineup? EVO is basically a fighting game tournament that lasts throughout the entire year. You get some of the best players in the world who actually join this, and you get some absolutely incredible stuff from them. It's amazing. Well, they decided to do something different for the lineup for 2013. To recap real quick, it's usually 8 games are chosen at the beginning of the year, and then they start the tournaments. This year they picked 7. And in order to pick the 8th, they decided to create a bit of a donation drive where they had a listing of 10 different games. And in order to vote for your game you wanted to be selected as the 8th game, you had to give a donation to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So you're donating to a good cause, and you're getting to place your vote on a game you really want. And it ran the game. I mean, Dead or Alive 5 was on it, Soul Calibur 5, some Guilty Gear was on there, Skullgirls was on there, even Super Smash Bros. Melee was on there. But the one that I thought would never, ever have a chance was My Little Pony Fighting is Magic. This is a fan-based fighting game based on the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic cartoon series. And the game's been in the works for a while, and it's been at several tournaments. It's just a promo and a demo and whatnot. Like I have it, this is from a recent tournament right now, people playing it. It is actually a hell of a lot of fun, regardless if you're a brony. Regardless, or whether or not you're a brony, you would actually enjoy this. It's actually a decent fighting game. Well, here's the funny thing. As of 3 days ago, the standings were in third place with Skullgirls with $814. Super Smash Bros. Melee was $1,400. And My Little Pony Fighting is Magic was a whopping $3,520. I personally think this is the most amazing thing to come out of 2013 so far. But because of the fact it's already way far in the lead, it puts it into a unique situation. The game has no official release date, and so the people who are working on the game are kind of using the first EVO 2013 tournament as kind of like a soft release date, so they can keep on working on it. Well, if Fighting is Magic finishes with the most money donated, the EVO people will take the game with the second highest donations as the 8th EVO game, which at this point is going to be Super Smash Bros. Melee. And if I'm reading this correctly, additional $1,000 will be tossed in as well. Plus, the My Little Pony game would receive its own little mini tournament that will be streamed on the main stage. So, if anything, I think this is just win-win. You get a bunch of money for breast cancer research, and you get to see an amazing game, regardless of its of its design, getting shown to the world. The only problem with this is I fear for Hasbro's lawyers to shut this thing down the moment that gets on stage. That's one thing that I give massive props to people who are making this game, is that because they're using copyrighted content, but Hasbro themselves have pretty much embraced the fandom, I should say. The fact that this game is still allowed is probably because of two things. One, they're doing it absolutely free. They're not taking any donations, as far as I know. Two, they are, once they finish it, they're not going to sell it. It's going to be available free online. So I find that's funny as hell that a private demo indie game is beating like Guilty Gear, Soul Calibur, Smash Bros. Melee, Blaze Blue for crying out loud. It's funny as hell. So yeah, aside from all the great games, you're going to obviously get Tekken and Street Fighter and all that stuff during the EVO tournaments. You also might get ponies. So, okay, I have to show this. The last thing we're going to talk about. There's a website, Laughing Squid. They found a certain thing that kind of ties to they say it ties to anime, but it kind of creeps the hell out of me. There is a skin suit that you can buy, and by skin suit, those are the things you can cover yourself in, like velvet. I forget what the fabric is. You can see people walking around different cons, like either in all blue or all green and whatnot, and having fun with that. That's kind of cool. Someone decided to make a Totoro skin suit. Let that one just burn into your retinas for a little bit. I'll just be here. Totoro's supposed to be soft and cuddly. This is just creepy. And you yeah. The responses in the chat. Oh man. Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. So, okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up because anything more like that is just gonna get a little too creepy for my taste. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of AniBreak for not next week, but the following week on the 30th of January. We've already made the announcement. We are going to be hosting a call-in show, so on the last Wednesday of this month. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me about anime I like, or if you want me to suggest a figure, or get my thoughts on whatever, I'm going to set it up so you can actually either call in via Skype, or you can send messages in either via email, Facebook, or Twitter. I'll have them all with me. I'm hoping to get a guest co-host to join me on that week. And I've been talking to a few people to get some guest interviews coming in, starting in late February. So, have some cool things lined up for the show. I hope you guys will enjoy that. As always, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at AutakuLife Jason. And yeah, stay tuned for a short post show. And I think that's going to be it. So, for AniBreak, I'm Jason. And I think, yeah. All right, everybody. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.